Hello, welcome to Chev Units, and here today we're going to be showing you how to do the training video for Southwest Oregon. Alright, so we're going to be starting with the generator, basically showing you how to power it up. Alright, so as you see, this is on the rail, so the first thing is to take off the safety pins off the rail. I'm going to push it in a little bit. Alright, so I'm going to slide this out. The main purpose of this generator being on a base and a sliding base is basically going to be for the maintenance, right, for doing the oil change and all of that. All right, so now we're going to start up the generator, but before you want to start this up, you want to make sure all the breakers are going to be off on the inside of the truck and your breaker box, right? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start it off. Now that I'm sure that every breaker is off in the breaker box, what you want to do is go ahead and prime it by pressing it down for a couple seconds, and it's gonna start on its own, just like that. So once this generator is on, you're gonna have your main breaker right here. So you want to flip this switch on, and this is gonna power your breaker box. This is basically gonna give power to your breaker box by turning this on. All right, so apart from the generator, you also have a 50 amp plug. So whenever you don't want to use the generator, you can just plug up to any utility. Okay, so once your generator is on or you have your utility power on, you can go inside the breaker box and power everything up one at a time. You want to go, slowly. You don't want to, and also make sure everything is off when you power it up. So right now that we barely turn it on, you can now power it up one at a time. All right, now you can follow me. We're gonna go inside the truck and see how everything works in there. All right, so right here, you're gonna have your propane tank. Now, before you wanna start up your kitchen, you wanna make sure every valve inside your kitchen is closed, your temperature valves, before you go ahead and open up the propane tank valve. So right here, you have the main propane tank. This is the main key you wanna open up first before anything. And then you're gonna have a secondary for your gas line. It's gonna be right here at the bottom. You wanna go ahead and open that, and that's gonna allow the gas to go through, and it's gonna go into your kitchen area. All right, so now that we're inside your kitchen, you have your appliances. You got 4 appliances right here, as you see, and you got 4 different valves, one for each appliance. And basically, what you want to do is just go ahead and open the appliance you're gonna use, and the one you ain't gonna use, just keep it closed. But since we're gonna turn everything on right now, I'm gonna go ahead and open up every valve. So the way you could tell when it's open and closed, basically, if it's aligned with the pipe itself, it's gonna be open position. When it's crossed with the valve itself, like this, when it's crossed, it's gonna be off. Okay, so now as soon as you open up the valve, some of these appliances like this one's gonna start releasing propane. You could go ahead and light it up with no problem. As you see this one, all you gotta do is just light up the pilot. On this one, you gotta press this button right here, and it's gonna automatically by itself, without you having to use a lighter, it's gonna basically just power it up by itself. So if you take a look in here, as soon as I push this button, it lights up by itself. All right, so now on this one, you don't gotta use no lighter. This is automatically gonna turn on by itself as soon as you press this pilot switch, which is gonna be located right here. That's it. All right, now the fryer is gonna be the most complicated to power up, but this one, basically, you're gonna have a pilot switch right here. What you wanna do is line it up with the L, and then once it's lined up with the L, you press it and hold it down for a couple seconds, maybe 20-30 seconds, that the gas ran through. And as soon as it does, you go ahead and you light it up from right here. So once you finish with cooking and everything, you go ahead and you turn off every valve. From every appliance, you go back outside to the truck, turn off the main valve, and you turn off the propane tank. You make sure that it's closed. So right here under the sink compartment, you're gonna have your 45-gallon fresh water tank. You're gonna have your water pump over there and your water heater. And to fill this up, I'm gonna show you there's a valve outside where you connect the hose, and you're gonna fill it up by basically just connecting the hose to the outside valve, and it's gonna fill up your tank. And just keep in mind that whenever you have your water pump running, you want to make sure the tank is full of water, otherwise it's gonna burn out the water pump. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so right here you have your water heater, and you're gonna have your water pump under here, and then you have your GSCIs right there too, where you got one for each appliance, and you have switches right here which control those GSCIs. So you have basically a GSCI switch right here for your water pump and your water heater. And then right here behind here you have a TV for your menu, and right here is a little access for all your HDMI, any kind of cable you're gonna need to use to power up whatever menu you want to put in there. Okay, so now right here throughout the whole truck, you're gonna have outlets for powering whatever little appliance you want to put, like blenders and whatnot. You have one right here. As we go further down, you're gonna see some above here around your shelf area. So anything you have right here, like VCR, anything you want to put, you have around any place. There's tables. You even got one in the front right here in the cabin, outlets, one in the wall for any occasional thing you might want to use, one by the TV right here, and one above your table, which is gonna be your work table for your cash register and other stuff. Okay, and also for your fridges and everything. And you got extra, aside from your fridges, you got extra outlets on the sides. All right, so now before you light anything up, your appliances, you want to make sure your extractor is on. You have your switches right here for your extractor and your hood lights. We're gonna go ahead and power up the hood lights, and now we're gonna switch up the extractor. All right, so now to do the test to see if it's functioning right and it's sucking in there, we're gonna put a piece of paper and see if it sucks it up. And you even have an extra plug out here outside your truck. So it's right here, this is gonna be your inlet hose. So right here is where you're gonna go ahead, get your hose, connect it, and then you can turn on the valve on your water outside, the hose, and it's gonna fill up your fresh water tank on the inside. Okay, and then right here is gonna be your waste tank, valve. So what you want to do before you empty it, you grab your hose, you connect it to the adapter right here. You take this cap off, you grab your hose, you adapt it, and then once you have that, you go to the commissary or wherever you're gonna dump the water, you connect the hose and you pull this lever, and it's gonna let out all the water from the waste tank.